keyboard, but you didn't know that, okay? Because it selects the direct selection tool. That way, when you're drawing, okay, you can hold down the command key and have temporary access to the direct selection tool rather than the selection tool. Then you tap P for the pen tool. Okay, now drawing a square is really, really easy. You simply click your way through, like so. Okay, hopefully you can see my lines on here, all right, and there you go, you've got a square. Did you also know that when you're clicking, you can hold down the space bar and reposition the point before you release the mouse button or the trackpad? Okay, so you can move that to the point. If you think, oh, it's not quite where I wanted to go, hold down the space bar and move it, okay, then you can use that. So I'm going to hold down the command key now because I know I've got the direct selection tool, and I can go ahead and click on one of these points here to move it. Like so. Get the idea? Brilliant. I'll hold down the command key and just drag around those, okay, and then hit delete to get rid of it. A circle, however, presents us with a few more challenges. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to visualize an area of 4 major squares here big. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you get that, and here's the middle of that. So I'm going to go to an intersection at the top here with the pen tool. Okay, I'm going to hold the mouse down or the trackpad down and drag outwards just past one major intersection and just a little way in, okay, almost halfway into the next big square. Hopefully you can see that. I'll just wobble that around a little bit like so. Grooving. First point is down with control handles. Diagonally down, a couple from there. Now I've got rubber banding on so you can actually see the preview of the curve. Okay, mouse or trackpad down and drag more or less the same distance. That way, I think I've gone just a shade too far, but I'm not overly worried. Okay, diagonally down from there, okay, and across like that. I've got a motion light above me. Sorry, that went out. Shouldn't do, it should be set to constant, but there we are. Now, you can tell I'm way off base here with this particular one. I've gone way too far, but you get the idea. Right, drawing there like so. That is a very fat rounded rectangle. That's because it's hard to do that. Right, really tricky. And then if you need to do something like a bumpy line, I'm just going to delete both of these things. Okay, that's where you have to kind of draw a little bit and then draw a little bit like this, and then you hold down the option key and you go up like this, okay, and all of that stuff, and it goes wrong and all of those things. Okay, there is another tool you could use. This is the lesson for right now, is use the tools. Yeah, discover the other tools, don't just ignore them. Now, I'll be honest that when I first went for the tool I'm going to use now, which is the curvature pen tool, here it lives to the side of the actual pen tool in this 2-up array. Shift back tick will get you that. I didn't seem that fussed by it, but then I thought, you know, I need to learn it because I've got to teach it, and you know, now it's my go-to drawing tool. Let me show you how easy this is to do. So we'll keep this nice and simple, just using 4 big squares here. Okay, we can all do this one. This one's really easy. Go to the top of 4 big squares. Okay, I'm going to click. Go diagonally down 1 big square and click. You might think, yeah, straight line, what's new about that? Go diagonally down and click. And you see you've drawn a curve, diagonally up and click, and diagonally up and click. Ta-da! A circle. But the good fun stuff doesn't end there. Okay, I'm going to delete that twice just to get rid of that. Okay, if I draw a curve, like so, okay, using 3 points, now I double click, the next thing that I draw is going to be a straight point. If I double click, I've drawn straight point to a straight point, and then I can go ahead and draw curves like so. Really simple. Double click just here, go down. I have no idea what I'm drawing. And also, I don't need to hold down a key. If I want to move a point, I just move a point. Even if it's after the fact, right? I'm just going to double click there to convert that. That's another thing that it does, right? It allows you to convert really quickly. Yeah. Even if you've drawn something, you can just go back and move the point. Okay, very flexible. Okay, really flexible. Still works in the same way if you're thinking, oh yeah, but I like the direct selection tool and all that good stuff. use the direct selection tool and all of that good stuff, right? That's what it's there for, okay? But you can just go tap A if you really want to do that. You'll see all of the points and their handles are still there. You're not losing anything, but you've got plenty to gain. Right, okay, I'm going to delete that shape just there. Okay, one more bit in terms of drawing. Okay, I'm going to draw three things very quickly. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the Option key here, draw a nice big ellipse like that, like so. Well, that's just a bit too big. Okay, I'm then going to tap M to get my rectangle tool. I'm going to come down here. The Smart Guides, always keep the Smart Guides on, so useful. Okay, I'm going to go to this point here, so just underneath. I'm going to hold down the Option key or Alt key, draw like so. Okay, I'm going to use the corner widgets here. Okay, to bring that in, I'm going to do a similar operation at the top here. So Option key down, just draw like that. It doesn't really matter where it is because you can adjust it with the tools like so. You don't need to switch tools. Okay, again, investigating the tools, really handy. Okay, this time I'm going to bring in the corners like so, but I'm going to hold down the Option key and click on the corners to change the corner type. So there you go, I've got a nice chamfered corner now. It just happens to be a bit too big. So I'll go ahead and open that out, and let's bring that down a little bit, just a bit deeper. Okay, then I'll tap V to get my selection tool, select all three things just there, and then get the shape builder, which is part of the live paint toolset, at least that's where it came from. Hold down Shift and tap M. Now you'll see, as I move across this, these different regions light up. So what I can do here is join these two things together, okay, just by dragging across them, hold down the Alt or Option key to go into remove mode, and ta-da, there you are. I've removed that shape and given myself a super fat chunky wrench, like the ones you buy or get when you buy a cheap bicycle, that sort of thing. Okay, so there we are with some basic drawing accelerators just there. Okay, if you ever get one of these things that won't fill, because remember we're looking at problems, the chances are there's a line gap in there. I'll illustrate that for you very quickly. So if I draw a line across that clearly has a bit of a gap, okay, let's make it a little less clear. Just get my direct selection tool and going over like so, so it's hardly there. Okay, there we are, and I select all, and I get my shape builder, and it's just doing the whole thing. Okay, so if I hold down the Option key expecting to knock the bottom off of this, it doesn't do it. That's the problem you're getting there. It doesn't quite join, so you need to inspect that and look for joins. Groovy. Okay, next up then are appearances. Those are the next big accelerator you need. You can close the drawing grid file now,